Hello, guys. I'm back. This time, I'm bringing back a topic that I've covered before. But since people are still talking about this, so I think I'm going to bring another spin on this topic. Again, going back to the idea that people keep saying that either you are getting worse if you use AI in coding, or coding with AI is just plain stupid because AI is stupid because their output is stupid. So those are the things that people still is saying. So with that, um, let me just do a few demonstration uh, to just hopefully once and for all to show that you can actually use AI if you know how to use it properly, because AI is just a tool, and you are still the driver. So the idea is if people keep saying AI will replace human someday to create applications, I just don't see it yet, because AI can't just know what to build. A human have to tell AI what to build, but that human need to have all the skills uh, to actually use the AI properly, to have the output from the prompting or from the usage of the AI, correctly as well. So I'm going to mix and match to show that you can use AI and get a proper deterministic correct output. But also I'm going to show the three levels that you can use AI to show people are still not optimizing what AI can do for them. So I'll show the if you're one of those people who use only 10% of the capability of AI, I'm going to show that, and then the 50% people and then 100% people. So the 10% usage of AI, to me, is just using the code completion. It's not bad, but you're just missing a lot if you just want to use AI on that. But anyway, so with that, I just do a quick one on quick on code completion style of using AI. So just create a new uh, file here. Let's just call it a 10%. Okay, so py. So here, let's just do a simple one. Let's say let's do one scenario. So create a function that counts words in strings. All right, so let's say we are creating a function that counts words in the string. So uh, a developer that use AI only on the code completion, they will just use it in using tabs, right? So basically these are the functions, right? So now we need to run it. So main function, then this 10%. Okay lah. So and then call. Right, so that's done. So 10% of text. Okay, then we just create that file, 10% dot txt. 10% dot txt, correct. Okay, we need a sample text. So let's just use a bit more complicated one. Okay, let's use this lah. This one should be quite easy, right? So let's put it here. It should shows like 2 words in there. So let's just run it. Okay, so Python. This one is 10% of py. Right, 2 words. Okay. Then let's do this one. 4 words. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just try the complicated one. This one, it says 7. So it should not be 7 because one. Right. Let's say hyphenated one should be not one word. It's actually state of the art is still a words on its own. So let's say this is supposed to be words on its own lah, just separated by hyphen. So technically this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should be a 12, not 7 words, right? So when you run this and then you get this kind of output, then you probably say, "Ah, AI is stupid," just because you prompt it like this, and you think that AI will know what is in your head. Okay, so let's say you actually have a requirement for this. So let's say the requirement is that apostrophe should be one word, which we have uh, counted as one word just now, but hyphen should count as many. So state of the art should be four words, not one word, right? And then, well, that's the basically requirement, right? So if you would prompt it in this manner instead, then you will see the difference in uh, the code being generated, right? So you import collection counter, okay, count, and it has now replacing dashes, and it will find apostrophe and then count is one word. Uh, okay, that's not right. Oh, wait, form 10% text. Uh, no, okay, that's not counting. So it's kind of, there you go. It's 12. Right, so that's the correct answer because we state the requirement that we want. So basically adding the hyphens lah, hyphen count as many. Okay. Okay, so like I said, using the code completion one is is basically not optimizing what you can use do with AI. All right, so let's move on to the 50% and 50 percenters. So 50 percenters are actually using the chat, so that you can actually prompt to get the output. Right. So let's do another scenario. So this one is 50, right? So another scenario is we are going to parse query string from URL and get what are the again the dictionary items in it, right? So this is actually the one that you showed. So I saved this prompt, but let's just do uh, a, a typical prompting that is not that's what people usually use without actually thinking much about the context they're feeding. Okay, so create a function to parse query string as input and return a dictionary. Uh, okay, all right, so just run that. Using GitHub Copilot at this point, and then we're using GPT-5 Mini preview, which is basically the free version. I don't have a GitHub Copilot license, so I'm just going to use the free version. So it's a little bit slow. Apologize for that. Let's let it work for a bit. Hmm. All right, so it did a file parse query. Okay. So it is some examples here saying that A and B will become A1, B2, and then URL encoded one will become just a space, and A, so the similar ones will become an array. Okay. Say okay, right. So let's just say this is what has been generated for you, and then you run this. How to use this? Blah. Okay, so let's just run it because it's all the examples already there. So parse query. Okay, it's basically just outputting the same thing. But let's say you said, oh, this is such a stupid output, right? Because I need something else, right? So what are the something else? Okay, let's say you actually have a requirement. So you want missing key also to be passed like this, or you want also missing value to be passed like this. And yeah, those are the two things. You also accept empty string, right? Okay, so but you didn't tell the AI, so that's basically why you're not getting what you should have been getting. Okay, right. So let's just redo this in a more proper way. So this is basically a prompt that you should be using. You are sending button dev, and you're going to output two things. You know the file itself that have the what do you call it, the logic or the module, and also a test file so that you can actually run the test. Okay. So, and then in the test itself, you should actually specify what you want to test. And inside the module file, you should also specify what everything that you need the module to to include, right? So let's just have a new chat window and then run this. I hope it doesn't work. Will not. You know what? Let's just delete this. Okay, so let's run the proper prompt and see how different it will be. Of course, not be different, right? So these are the 50 percenter of dev that use AI, basically just using a chat uh, to produce the whole file with with the logic in it. And just so you know, the free version it is this slow. Right, so just keep this. Yep, is it done? Okay, it's done. Okay, now we have the two files, which is the query parser. All right, so see that it is empty dict for the input. Okay, missing values and missing keys is also included. Duplicate appear, the last value wins. So this is also another one that there's another rule that we set that the AI don't know last time. So if duplicate key appear, last one wins. Okay, so we have all this. Parse is also using the query, the parse QSL from the URL lib parse, making things easier. And then on the rule, let's say the last one wins, it's just going to overwrite the same key, the last one, value of the last one. All right, so let's run this. So the what do you call it? The function is actually being imported and used in the uh, test file. So let's use PyTest to actually install this. PyTest, we just use the test query parse UI. All right, so 6 tests, 6 pass, it's 100% tested. So everything is successful. So if you look at the assert statement, if something comes up like this, name, ID, lang, so it become name, ID, lang. Then empty become empty, and missing values, you could just full like this, you got a key with empty value. If you have found a missing key, then it become missing key and bar. The reason you have all these like tests so that you can actually handle this kind of scenario. But if this scenario is not handled, then if this edge case appear, then you know this is where you will not get the right behavior from that. Okay, so duplicate key A1, A3, then it will say A is 3, right? So encoding, so all this ampersand, what do you call this? Percentage, all this become, spaces. This is not spaces, it's just another special character. Okay, anyway, so do that. So you can see using a proper prompt like this give you a much better output. So, but this is still only 50% of how you can use AI to get a very solid output just by having a proper uh, specification that you want to be included in your code, and also to produce to ask AI to produce tests or unit tests that have all the edge cases that you want to test, and and then you can run it yourself to run the test yourself and see if all of them are passing or not. Right, so that is 50%. Now, okay, so that we don't actually just delete. Right, so let's look at how it would look like if you are using 100% of what AI can do for you. So instead of using chat, I'm going to use the state of the art, or one of the state of the art tools. Actually, I've used Cloud Code more than Codex, but because Codex is cheaper now, I'm switching a little bit to Codex so that a simpler things I can use Codex, still get a correct output or accurate output, but with lower cost. Right. So how does 100% of using AI looks like? First of all, you use agent. The difference between agents and just a simple chat is agents you can actually let the AI run multiple steps and then go for high reasoning effort. Now with 100%, you need the prompt for the agent as well. So what the agent should do. Now let's look at what we are telling the agent to do. First, we need the agent to plan before we ask to generate code. Ask it to plan, outline a strategy, and produce like user stories. You produce like whatever plan that you need to plan, and actually output it somewhere so that you can refer to it later on, right? And use the user story just now and implement the code. So now not only it plans, so it will think to how to do it step by step. Now it will look at all the step by steps and actually execute steps by step properly, right? And then write the test same manner, and then self-check. Actually run the test itself, and then refine if there's a risk or there's a failure, and then go ahead and update the code and do this looping again, right? So this is the prompt for the agent. Now we need to give the prompt for the task itself. Now we are using or reusing the task now. Same thing, but now we are not the one who going to do anything except for just prompting. We don't need this anymore since we are already like say that this AI is an autonomous coding assistant, right? So produce these two file and then run these tasks, this requirement, and these are the tests that need to be done and also to be tested by the AI itself. Okay, so on this codex, we run this. All right, now it's thinking, and you will see step by step how an agentic coding tool works. So now it's looking into the details, structuring the test plan, and now it's going to write the user story file, or supposed to be. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's planning implementation. Yes, so as usual, it will ask for permission. If you run the Codex CLI instead, you can actually go YOLO, YOLO mode. YOLO mode means you don't actually have to ask me if you want to create all this. Just go ahead and do it. Right. So I'm going to open the user story. Look at this. This is AI planning or actually doing specs. So, what he wants to do, and then what he wants to test later on. And this is very cool because now you can actually see how the AI produce the final output for you. The plan first, and then the polyparser, and then the file. And after the file, you can see the test cases, right? Same thing. Now it's running the PyTest for you. Okay, it actually go and examine the code string again. So it's going to tell you what it did, what file did it generate, the test result, which all pass, and then the notes that we said that do a self-reflect, a self-check, right? So it says that all these things, because you have this self-check now, it also have an idea what what are the things that it will want to suggest to you next. So this give you a kind of like a flow state when you use AI in this manner. All right. So okay. So we have looked at the plan. We have looked at the generated code, and then we'll look at the tests. And I hope you can visualize, if you haven't done in this manner before yet, that AI is a good tool if you know how to use it properly daily. If you notice, if I were to do all this myself for this one task, one module, not modular, but one feature, it probably would take me like more than half an hour, or probably more because I will have to like think about this kind of scenario, that kind of scenario. But AI can hasten all these processes, give you all the ideas, but it comes back to you to think about whether what been suggested to you makes sense or not, right? But and the only way for you to be able to do that is where if you know what you're doing, right? If you don't know yourself, if you don't know how this thing should be handled, then you won't you can't even tell if AI actually producing the correct result or not, and that's on you, not on the AI, right? Okay, so I hope uh, this helps you in some way. And if anything, just write a comment down there, and I read all my comments and reply. Okay, with that, see you in next video. Peace.